Hi, I'm Peter Jacobs, and today we're going to learn how to lead rope solo. Okay, so we're in Boulder Canyon, Animal World, and we're going to climb Animal Magnetism, which is a beautiful 11C, 4 stars. And here's what you need with you. Helmet, very important. GMARs. GMARs are important because if you're doing multi-pitch, you will need to get back up to the top of the climb again. Single pitch, they're not critical, but not a bad idea, just in case you need to descend the rope. And I've got a pulley on here to reduce the friction on this in case I want to get myself back up a little easier. Little cord. This is for building a ground anchor if I need to. So if I want to sling a boulder or sling a tree, something like that. Nice thing to have with you. Not critical, but nice. Message rods. These are, it doesn't really matter which kind you use. I like using the ultralight Trango draws, but the important thing on here is that I've got 2 locking alpine draws. Those are going to come in very handy later, you'll see why. Good comfortable harness with my chalk, and I've got a Gree and an ATC. I recommend having both with you. They're good for different things and really good idea. A couple extra lockers for a ground anchor just in case. And here is the thing that's hard to get. This is the Silent Partner, and the microtraction is not so hard. The Silent Partner is our lead soloing device we're going to use today. It's widely considered to be the best one on the market, and 2 lockers to attach that to the harness, and a non-locker to attach to microtraction. You can use a locker if you like for that too. And the type of rope you use is really important for this particular thing. If you use a rope that is thinner than 9.8, it will bind on the Silent Partner, and when you're climbing, you won't be able to climb any further, so you really don't want that. So definitely use at least a 9.8 millimeter rope. 10 millimeter is fine. This one is also bicolor, which I recommend because if you climb past your middle mark, it's going to be harder to get down. All right, that's everything you need to lead rope solo by yourself. Okay, so on this climb, this first bolt and second bolt are both pretty high up there, and by the second bolt, the climbing is started. So you definitely don't want to fall on your anchor because then you're connected only to one point, which puts a huge shock load on that bolt. So instead of risking that, I'm going to build a ground anchor with our handy cordelette here. All right, so I don't always select my rope when I'm climbing with a partner. It's not always necessary, but when I'm climbing myself and lead rope solo, I always do, because you can't manage the rope as it comes off the ground, and if it gets snagged up there or you can't reach it, you may have a pretty serious problem. So it's super important to do here. Okay, so it's time to get set up. I'm going to connect my base of my rope to my ground anchor here. To do that, I'm just going to tie a figure 8 in a bite, and then use a locker and connect to my ground anchor. I'm going to lock that up. All right. Now it's time to put the Silent Partner in. So put the microtraction on my leg for now. That's where it's going to stay actually, but I'm going to need to use it again. So here is the Silent Partner. I'm going to take out both carabiners so I can open it up and load it. To do that, open it like this, and then you gotta tie a clove hitch. So tie a nice big one, and you can slip it over onto the device, like so. And you want the rope to be coming out like that. So either side is on the side that you connect to. Doesn't matter, it's, the device is, call it ambidextrous, I guess. It doesn't matter, you can't load it backwards, is what I'm trying to say. But the important thing is that the ropes are coming out from the top, like so. Now, take two small locking beaners, and we connect them to the silent partner, so they are opposite opposed. Oops. Like so, and then connect both of those to the harness and lock both. So, I've got the rope going directly to my anchor, and then my slack has come over here, which is nicely flaked on a pile behind the camera. And the slack is a problem. If I climb and I don't do anything with my slack, if I don't hold it in some way, the weight of the rope will make the silent partner bind and stop moving. So I've got to hold the slack. That's what the microtraction's for. I open them up the microtraction. I'm going to put it into the microtraction so that it can slide. It will hold my slack and then give me slide when I need to, like that. So it's directional, facing towards my silent partner. And the slack is coming out from over here. It can't move that way. It can only move this way. And then I connect that to my leg like that. And now you see I've got these two loops. Here's my slack being held, and here is my rope going directly to my ground anchor. Okay, so there's one safety precaution that is essential if you're going to have any backup besides your silent partner, and that's tying slip knots. So the theory here is that if the silent partner somehow did fail, which I've never heard of happening, the microtraction is not going to help you because it's set up to feed in the direction of the silent partner. So in order to give yourself a backup, what you can do is tie a slip knot every 5 to 10 feet down the rope, like this. And they're directional. You want to make sure they pull towards. Let me show you how this works. So as you climb up, you're going to be pulling out more and more slack as you climb, and then you're going to need to get more slack out of the base. So you pull it through the microtraction, and you're going to reach a point where the slip knot is at the microtraction. Now, to get it out, you need to be able to pull with one hand because you're hanging on with the other hand. You need to be able to pull out and have it release. And then you keep climbing, and then you reach your second slip knot and you pull that out. Now, if you do rely on that as a backup, you want to use a locker here and not a non-locker as I do. The reason I don't use the slip knots as a backup is because, first of all, I trust this device a lot. I've taken a lot of falls on it, and I've never heard of them failing. And secondly, if the device somehow did fail, I think that the clove hitch would bind on the pulley and it would start spinning around until it was actually bound inside of these constrictions within the device. But you know, you need to choose your own level of risk here. The slip knots are a good idea. They are essential to have a backup. They are also a pain in the neck. It's up to you. Got my rope to my anchor, going to my silent partner. Draw a little loop of slack here, I'm going to make bigger later. And normally I don't tag a line, but we're going to have my camera guy, Austin Weston Brock, up there. He's going to come up after me. I'm going to shoot a little bit there, so tagging a line today. So here we go. channel magnetism is a fantastic climb. It does have kind of a high first clip, but it's easy climbing. And because I'm using a ground anchor, as soon as I clip that first bolt, I am secure. Alright, there we go. Make a little move around this rut. Okay. And there's my second bolt. So, now I'm off the ground a little bit, I can increase the size of my loop for slack. That's a good amount. It can be larger or smaller than that, but you just want to have enough out that you can clip the next bolt. When you get there, you can pull it through. All right, there we go. As far as grades go, when you're starting out with this, you definitely want to start well beneath where you normally climb, that's for sure. This is 11C, which is, you know, definitely climbing, but I've climbed it a lot. I know it really well. It's one of my favorite climbs. In my opinion, it's the best 11C I've ever seen. I love it. So here's the first crux. And for any of you who don't want to know the data for this, you might want to turn the audio off or turn the video off. All right. So, we're out of slack, so you gotta pull some more of that up. Now, the saddle partner can tend to bind a little bit sometimes. If it does that, you need to get in a place where you can take some weight off of it, get it moving again. This is especially true if you fall on it. We've arrived at about 30 feet up the climb, and there's two things that's true right now, which is really nice for me. One is that about 30 feet or 40 feet, the rope weight becomes heavy enough that it starts to make the silent partner bind. So we really need to get some of that rope weight off of the silent partner. The best way to do that is with a locking alpine draw. So the other thing that's important here is that I'm in a good position. I'm not going to fall before my next piece. That's going to become very important in a second. So I go ahead and lock this to the bolt, and then I'm going to pull up my slack until it's fairly tight, not ridiculous, but fairly tight. And saddle partner's bind up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to tie a clove hitch here. You can do an alpine butterfly as well if you have the hands to do it. And then I'm going to clip this to there. Now, the reason I use a locker on these is because it's going to get ripped around when you fall. And I've actually had these unclip themselves. So I like to use a locker there. What that's done is that's taken all of the rope weight off of me, off of my saddle partner. You see how this is slack now? But I've also created a little bit of a dangerous situation, because if I fell right now, the only thing that would catch me would be this one bolt, and that's dangerous because I could shock load the bolt, possibly make it fail. But as soon as I clip the next bolt, let me go ahead and do it now and I can show you. So, right now the only thing in my system is this 5 feet of rope, right? But the cool thing is that as soon as I clip the next bolt, I actually get the entire rope length back into my system, which is important because the more rope you have in your system, the softer the catch. And you also want the weight on the ground anchor. So let me show you how that works. So because this alpine draw is extended, as I pull up, it's not pulling on the draw. That draw holds the weight of the rope, but I have all 30 or 40 feet of rope in my system just by clipping this next one. So when you have to do that, you want to be sure you're not going to fall between yourself and the next piece. One thing that's important is not to get your lines too tangled, or tangled at all really. You want to make sure that your slack is separate. When you clip the rope, it's going down exactly where you want it to go, and your slack is over here separate. Okay. be locked. And so you need to get your weight off the device again and loosen it up before continuing climbing. If you forget to do that, you will end up not being able to progress because your saddle partner is locked. So, a nice easy way to do it is just to connect yourself to a quick draw or a bolt. Keep your hands free and deal with your stuff. Just loosen up that float hitch a little bit so it's spinning again. There we go. And we're good. There we go. Practice makes perfect. Get more slack. Okay, so we've reached a position where I'm 30 feet above my last one. I really need to get another alpine in, but clearly I've only got one hand at a time. I've got two options. I can either climb myself in directly and go in hard and do it, or if I don't want to give away my lead, my onside or whatever, I can do a clove hitch one-handed. Not the easiest thing in the world, but how you do it is you clip it and then you reach back, thumb down behind the carabiner, flip it around, and re-clip it. Now remember that while that's done, oh shit. So what I did wrong there was I didn't take all the slack out before. Remember, I need this to be fairly tight so that the rope weight is held by this beaner. So, let that out. Now, rope weight's being held, and I can continue on. It's really important I don't fall here, because I'm only clipped to one bolt right now. So I'm gonna move very carefully. Yeah, give me that, will you? I love my cameraman, he's great. All right. Alright, that's how it's done. Okay, so we're at the top of the climb, and I'm clipped into 2 points here. Never mind the draws, lots of draws. The point is here, is that what we're gonna do is, see our system, if you can see it through all this crap, is just 2 big rings here. And so to get off this thing and clean my anchor, what I'm gonna have to do is draw up my entire rope and then pass it through the anchor and then hang the entire rope down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's do a quick little cut. All right, so I've taken up all the slack here. I've passed it through my anchor. So now my anchor at the base of the climb is still fixed. And still good, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and undo my silent partner. And you can put that away. There actually is a way to rappel in your silent partner. If you do a search on YouTube for how to rappel in a silent partner, you'll find another cool video by a guy who made it. He'll explain better than I'm going to here. But for me, I'm just going to use a gree because it's nice and easy and it automatically locks up for me and makes it real easy to clean. So, this twist is not ideal. It's not the end of the world. I can deal with it. Okay, so now I'm still using the bottom anchor for support. I can get my weight on the gree, get it off these draws. And I am ready to boogie. Okay. Cleaning. So, as you saw before, the rope is going from my ground anchor just through my anchors up there, not tied. And this is a very difficult climb to clean, as you can see. But we can do it on lead solo.